Welcome to part 3 of our study on the topic Kingdom Midwives. Kingdom Midwives. And we have looked at one of the major roles played by midwives. And we saw that they support, they give encouragement to other women through their skills, their expertise, their experience. They assist other women to give birth, to deliver their babies, their visions, their destiny. They are supportive women. We have looked at Mary and Elizabeth, how Mary fulfilled a prophecy by her visit because she was carrying something. You may not know what you are carrying, but as you impact other lives, what you carry will become more evident and you will be fulfilling your role as a kingdom midwife. The second part and the last part I'm going to look at, although there are more, about the roles of midwives, is their job, their role in bringing new lives to the world. Midwives are in a position to either kill or save lives and destiny. In Exodus chapter 1, verses 15 to 21, Exodus 1, 15 to 21, we saw two midwives, Shiphrah and Puah, who disobeyed Pharaoh's command to kill Hebrew male infants and instead decided to save the lives of many, including Moses. If an infant will die at birth, a midwife will be involved. A midwife can murder or can mother. A mother is a nurturer, a life giver, a life saver. If not that these midwives were God-fearing, they could have cooperated with the agenda of the devil, Pharaoh, and destroyed destinies. As a mother, you are expected to care and nurture people to health and growth. And there are different categories of people that God has brought under our care as mothers. Top on the list is your husband. You are the helpmeet for that man you married. If he does not fulfill his destiny, God will ask from you. You are supposed to be a helper, meet for him, a helper of his destiny. How are you faring in that? How are you doing it? With your prayers, with your support, with your encouragement. We were told that the wife of late Yonggi Cho will go to the bookshop and pack books and put it near the bed of her husband and say, cook your sermons, cook your sermons. That was a way she could help her husband. What is that ministry? What is that thing that the Lord has committed to the hands of your spouse? And how are you helping him? One of the people you are supposed to nurture and help as a mother, as a kingdom midwife, as a nurturer and not a murderer is your husband. What of the children? Your children, including all those who live in your house. How are you faring in parenting? Are you separating, raising your own children separately and raising those people separately? No. Parenting may be quite challenging in this generation. I quite agree. Our children are exposed to and they have other influences around their lives that do not align with our spiritual values or the values we want them to imbibe. They have their own role models on social media, their peers that they follow online, and they are oblivious of the fact that sometimes what they see on social media are ordinary packaging and are not real. Our children and all those who come under our care. Here I want to mention the example of Potiphar's wife. As a woman who failed to recognize that she's a kingdom midwife, God brought a great destiny under her care. God brought Joseph, who has been battered by envy and hatred, under her home. And rather than recognize that she's supposed to birth this destiny, she was looking for how to use this Joseph for her own, sexual satisfaction. She was, and she failed. She failed. She did not recognize that she was supposed to be a kingdom midwife. Joseph, that had been battered and battered by envy, God brought him under her roof, and she could not rescue that destiny. God had to organize the prison rather than the comfort of her home to take Joseph to his destined throne. How would she have felt when eventually Joseph became the second in command in the land of Egypt? Probably Joseph would have recommended her and her husband to a more enviable position in the land. She would rather abuse Joseph rather than nurture him to greatness. Mothers, all those God bring under your care, make sure you do your part. Make sure that nothing dies in your hands. Another thing you are to nurture as a woman is the home itself. I believe every woman is specially endowed by God to do many things. The attention to details that we have is not common in men. The intuition, the passion, and so on. These are needed to create a peaceful and conducive home environment for all who live in our house. We nurture our family, our home, by preparing healthy meals. You maintain cleanliness and order in the home. Even and when we have as assistants and stewards, don't leave everything to them. Oversee and supervise them. And the fourth category of things you are supposed to nurture and care for as a mother is yourself. Remember to take care of yourself. You must know how to achieve balance, manage time, manage energy, manage financial resources well. Eat what is appropriate for your age. Take medical checkups serious. Have hobbies, things that make you rejuvenate. Have friends. Go away from the home once in a while. Attend conferences. Meet new friends. All these can energize you. I know it can be overwhelming at times as a mother, but as a mother, your duty is to nurture and to care for people under your roof so that they do not die in your hands. I want to look at, I've mentioned the example of Shifra and Puah who chose life in the face of death. You cannot be saving lives and face death. It is vital that we be willing to stand to stand firm in our convictions, choosing to please God rather than man. Tamar was another woman, bittered and battered. She has married all the sons of Jacob, and they were dying. And she was so desperate to have a child that she was willing to do whatever it would take to conceive. That decision to pretend as a harlot and make her husband's father impregnate her. So she was an outcast. Everybody was looking at her. This woman, she got impregnated. But a midwife was there, caring, doing her job with compassion, despite Tamar's standing in the community. When trials hit, we need someone who has been there and done to walk us through and encourage us along the way. When we are ready to give up, we need women who can focus our attention on the task ahead. We need godly women to watch our back, when we are unable to take care of ourselves. There was a midwife that attended to Tamar when she wanted to deliver a child. We need women who are strong when we are weak. Like those midwives, we need to provide a support system to our fellow women when we see someone struggling, whether it is by their own choice or we need, or not. We need to be willing to reach out to them and help them. It is easy to judge than to love. Some midwives failed because they did not recognize that they are supposed to be midwives, nurture an upcoming destiny to life. Potiphar's wives failed. Herodias failed with her daughter Salome. She is known for her ambition and revenge. She used her daughter to manipulate the king, Herod Antipas, in beheading John. Her life was not in order as a mother. She married her husband's brother. She manipulated her daughter to carry out revenge on John the Baptist. The spirit that operated in Jezebel, the spirit that killed God's anointed, was in her. Spirits don't die. When they have accomplished their mission, they look for other bodies to possess. As a mother, don't have the spirit of Jezebel. What of starving mothers in 2 Kings chapter 6 verse 26, who killed their sons to survive? Mothers, don't kill your son. Jochebed refused to kill Moses. Mother, she took a basket, lined it with pitch, so that even when she threw her child into the river, the basket floated. Dear mother, I appreciate all that you do for your children, but how do you shield them with your prayers, your loving discipline, your correction? Have they imbibed your values and the values of the kingdom? I can go on and on. My encouragement to all women, all mothers, as we celebrate Mother's Day 2025, is that be a kingdom midwife. Nothing must die in your hands. No destiny must die in your hand. Bring succor and support to other women around you. Raise women, raise children, and all those who God bring under your care to a glorious and fulfilled destiny through your effort and support. Happy Mother's Day.